in my understanding, in my experience, our heart has so much space inside that we can love as many people as we want to love to the same level. Doesn't mean it's equal, but it means to the same level in regarding to the relationship we have. So that means if we build a strong relationship, loving relationship towards the children of our partner, that doesn't mean that we love our own children less.
I do believe that it is so important that the woman leads in that respect because, like you said, from a symbolic perspective, you are the neck. That means we will tend to look where you are guiding us. And maybe the neck is different. Maybe it's really the heart where you're guiding us of what love is and how.
Welcome to the Alchemy of Success podcast.
Your podcast for business, personal, and consciousness expansion. My name is Pedro.
And I'm Anna. And today we're going to talk about a topic that maybe a lot of you come nowadays across. And that is like patchwork families, or some can call it the new age families. And the reason why we want to speak about that and why this is also kind of a part of alchemy of success is because family is very often like the base of creating successful life. And, years back, it was just the normal way how family was, like mom and dad, they get married, they stay till the death separates them, or I don't know how you say it, traditional, and then you have your siblings and that's it. But when we look how our society developed throughout the last years or decades maybe, and because of the level of divorces and the level of people getting together, but not on the base to last forever, and then something occurs for one or another reason, then what happens is that very often, not just the people separate, but very often are also children included. And that is where the challenges started. And that is where sometimes, depending on who is taking care of the child, what is the way how the couple separate, whether it's peaceful or whether it's challenging, it can create lifelong problems. Or if you find a way how to understand that patchwork family could be also an amazing gift for everyone, can actually create even a bigger joy of creating a bigger family, of creating a more stronger relationship if the people involved into this patchwork family understand the responsibility that everyone should have in this relationship. Understand also that when a child is there, the connection is always in some shape or form there, and really level up the consciousness. That's why our podcast is about also leveling up the consciousness, level up the consciousness to a level where these patchwork families could be even a bigger gift, and especially for the children. And why personally for me is very important to talk about that and to understand a little more my background. So my parents separated when I was a teenager, and that wasn't a peaceful separation. So it was a lot of like fight in between, and my dad get into a relationship where his wife have two children from two different relationships in advance. And they themselves, on the other hand, have from the father's side also siblings. So it was, you can imagine, it was like really completely different people coming from completely different bases. And it wasn't very easy for me or for all of us. And it wasn't the typical way to put so much different people together in some shape or form to be called like a family or extended family. And there was a lot of challenges. So that's why I swear the one thing what I did back there was that I said, okay, I will never ever gonna separate from my husband if I marry somebody. But, now as I'm like a little more, how to say, aware of this, when you say never, never say never. Right? Mm-hmm. So as for me, it wasn't very easy way. And I was teenager back there. And you need to know, I was like always this kind of person who tried to bring harmony in the family, who tried to bring all the people together, but it wasn't always so easy. I told myself, okay, I'm never gonna create a patchwork family. I'm never gonna bring, if I have a child, into this situation. So, but when we understand a little more about universal laws, no doesn't work. So what I actually ended up creating is a kind of a similar situation that after 12 years being with my amazing partner, meanwhile ex-husband and the father of my child, we separated. And it was like the highest priority for us to create a beautiful relationship between us. So our child never have the feeling that he needs to choose, I need to love this mom more, or I need to stay more on the side of my dad, or in one or another shape or form to be put in a situation where he feels guilty because he maybe develop kind of stronger relationship to a person, to see this person as a part of the family, my partner or the partner of my ex-husband. So that's why, for us, we were at the level that we say, no matter how we separated, no matter what was the reasons, we will always meet decision together, and we will, as far as possible. And of course, you can understand it's not always equal, but, focus on this to speak with one voice. And unconsciously, because maybe of my experience that I had with this huge patchwork family, when I had my partner, and he, of course, became kind of a stepdad or a friend for my child, it was for me also very important to create also a good relationship. It doesn't mean friendships, but a good relationship between my partner and my ex-husband. And also to give my son the feeling that he doesn't need to feel bad if he also feels a strong relationship towards my partner. It doesn't mean that he loves his dad less. And I know that sometimes this feeling is created, and especially we moms tend to be very afraid when our ex-partner gets another wife, another woman that she can try to be the mother, and because we're scared that we're going to lose the love of our children. And I want to tell you something. And Pedro will share from his perspective. So last episode, we talked more about long-term relationships where he's more the expert, and I'm kind of more the experienced person into creating like this patchwork family. So don't be surprised when I talk a little more in this episode.
I just say hi.
I just exactly. But maybe you can ask questions that came to your mind so that people watching, maybe get these questions. You know what I mean?
So I'll ask you the questions right now then.
Okay.
Out of your experience, Anna, if you could highlight the top 2 or 3 main challenges, like summarized into buckets, what would those challenges be in this patchwork family scenario? And how did you overcome them?
Okay. So, the biggest, I think, challenge in patchwork family is especially, so this is something I didn't experience now at the level, but because I have very close friends that already have children. The biggest is when you put not only a couple comes together. If there is just one child, it's kind of okay. The biggest challenge comes that I experienced as a teenager is when the one partner brings their own children, the other partner brings their own children, and now if the couple that creates this patchwork family is not conscious to the level that is needed to sustain this beautiful, loving relationship, what often happens is, and what I experience in one shape or form, is that I sometimes felt that I'm not as supported as my stepsisters, for example, in some level. So that means sometimes I had the feeling, and maybe it's just my personal feeling, that my stepmom, especially when I left the country, was kind of more trying to pull my father towards her own children. So he spends more time with her own children, and then after that with the grandchildren, and not so strongly support the same relationship that my father should sustain with his daughters and the grandchildren. So that was one of the challenge me as a child, so to say, in this patchwork family was. That's why for me, what I told myself, if I ever come in the situation where my partner bring his own children, that I will make sure that he has the same level of contact to his own children, no matter how far or near they live to him, as he has the connection to me. And I tell you why. We women are the base of families. My auntie used to say, I don't want to be the head of the family. I want to be the neck, because where the neck turns in this direction, the head is looking. And I don't want to put it in kind of stereotype, but maybe Pedro, you can tell me how do you see it from your perspective as a man. But I think we women, we have more this one of the feminine attributes, so to say, not women, but feminine attribute is creating community, or creating this big safe space where everybody, get together. And this is kind of more of a feminine attribute, getting everybody together, like creating this nurturing this relationship. Men, as they have more masculine attribute or stronger express masculine attribute, it's not so natural for them to bring this home feeling. You're more about the one exactly. You're more the provider, but the woman is more the nurturer.
Correct.
And nurturing means bringing all together, so everybody take care that everybody is nurtured. So that means I realize that my role as a woman, having more easy access to the feminine attributes again, is my strength is to build this nurturing relationship. That means it's also my task to assure that my partner I don't only try to pull him stronger towards my children, so they have the feeling that they have a father role that take care of them, but I also take care that also his children have the same level of support, of time spending, of involvement. Because that is what I experienced as a child in this patchwork family, that the moment I left the home, and I was the one like bringing all the people together, taking care that this balance is held, even if I wasn't the mom, I was like a child. That is one thing. If you go into really one biggest tip that I can give to women when they go into patchwork family, take care that you really look that your partner has the same level of engagement with his children as with your children. Don't try to pull him stronger towards your children. And I know it's typical as a mom for our own children, to want that they have this masculine role, this father role. But yet it's very important to create also a peaceful mind for our partner. Because when we show our partner that we are seeing and loving his children to the same level as our own children. And now here comes the second challenge. We sometimes think that we're not able to love to the same level a child who comes from another woman as we love our own children. And that's a myth. And I can tell you why. In my understanding, in my experience, our heart has so much space inside that we can love as many people as we want to love to the same level. Doesn't mean equal, but it means to the same level in regarding to the relationship we have. So that means if we build a strong relationship, loving relationship towards the children of our partner, that doesn't mean that we love our own children less. That is one of the fear that we women sometimes have, that if we, show the same level of love toward a child that is not our own, so kind to say, like that our children will feel less loved. That's not possible. In the heart space, you have the capacity to love as many people as you want. So don't be afraid to give the best that you can give from the love that you have. So that is number one challenge. So number one challenge is really to become aware of our responsibility as a woman getting into a patchwork family, especially towards the children and towards the children of our partner, to really create this nurturing environment.
So I definitely resonate with what you said. I haven't experienced it to the level that you did. I think we spoke about that before we are airing this podcast episode, but I do believe that it is so important that the woman leads in that respect, because like you said, from a symbolic perspective, you are the neck. That means we will tend to look where you are guiding us. And maybe the neck is different. Maybe it's really the heart where you're guiding us of what love is and how love needs to be expressed, whoever that is. Then hopefully the man will be more receptive to see that, oh, okay, she loves my child. That's not hers, just as much as she loves her own children. And the man should actually reciprocate that and be more knowledgeable, hopefully, if it's more of a conscious perspective. But that's good, because it really should come from the mom, because the mom is building that entire unit to begin with. So yeah,
and
I
the
totally
man feels even, how to say it, when the man sees that the woman shows the same level of love, it's even stronger, how to say, has even stronger, what is the word? I'm missing it, inspired or motivated to be the provider, because he sees that his children are nurtured to the same level.
Not only that, but it should also help your relationship with them.
Definitely, because then you create not just a loving relationship, intimate relationship, but also the relationship as a parent.
Correct.
So the second challenge, now it comes to the ex-partners. So as we know, we cannot influence the level of consciousness of the ex-partner. In my case, luckily, really luckily, my ex-husband is an amazing person with a very high awareness. Also, my partner, we're now separated, but we used to be 5 years together, who I raised up my child the last 5 years. So that means we had like 50-50 custody with between my ex-husband and myself. So that means my child grow up the last 5 years with kind of two dads. My ex-partner was more about the friend, the best friend, more of this relationship. And yet he started calling him by himself stepdad. I never ever in any shape or form enforced him to do, nor my ex-partner. But the challenge comes when you have an ex-partners who are not aware, who are not having the level of consciousness. Okay. So that can create this kind of like problem situation where it maybe try to talk bad towards the child at front of the child towards the new partner of the father, or the other, vice versa. It's the same. It could be also the man to the ex-husband or the ex-partner towards the woman. So it's from the both side. So that's why it's very important when a couple get together that they really understand something. When they go into this patchwork family, it's very important that the woman take care or assure that her new partner has a respectful relationship towards the ex-partner, no matter the level of consciousness of the ex-partner, because this one you cannot kind of influence. And the same way around. So that means they need to agree, as we were talking last time about long-term relationship at no 50-50%. So here it's important for the couple creating this patchwork family to really sit and create a good agreement and to find a way how they can really navigate challenging times or challenging situations that can be created by the ex-partner. Because otherwise this can create huge gaps and actually creates so much distortion into the relationship that at the end it gets separated. So that means it's so important to stick together and to really understand that they are now the couple. They are the one that decided to create this patchwork family. And no matter how the external or the ex-partner act, we shouldn't try to argue or to be angry at our partner now because the ex-partner act XYZ. So it's so important to have rules there, or to have the awareness and to really talk about that this situation can occur. They can be sometimes brought through the children. Sometimes, especially if the children are in an age where they can be easily influenced by the ex-partner, so they can calm the children and the children can be sometimes even very nasty towards the new partner. So to be aware that we are the adults in the relationship and we are the one that we need to understand the challenging situation for the children and also the challenges that can be created by the ex-partner and to stick together as a team. Really partnership, not just a couple.
Yeah. That's a great point.
So to put it all together, it's like, it's important by creating a patchwork family to be like a really very aligned partnership, like a team, and of course also for me, again, as a woman, what I always do is, not that I experience this like so often, or I actually never really, but for me, I know what very important will be as far as it possible, because of course you never know how a relationship gets, how couple get separated, but to give also a good feeling to the ex-partner of my partner. And I can tell you why. Again, especially for us women, we are very scared that when a new woman enters the life of our ex-partner and our children are involved, that they maybe start loving this other woman more than us because maybe she makes more fun things with them, or, she's not so strong as the mom, because like we parents, we're always the bad, the bad cops, and
Yes.
like the new parents or the new partner are like the good cops, cops. So that's why it's important, if you are the one entering, being the second partner, so to say, or like the new mom, so to say, or like really make sure that you show the ex-partner as far as it's possible. I say, because the level of consciousness could be different, from to the ex-partner, but try not to be seen as a threat from the ex-partner, but more about to understand what is important for her. What is important when she raises her children. Don't try to be the opposite. Of course, it doesn't mean that you need to completely change your way, how you are and so on, but yet it's important to be respectful towards what is important for the mom. On the other side, of course, also from the side of the father, what is important also to the father. But I think men are a little more easy And this part, I know especially from my experience or how I'm emotional, that I know that I will these challenges will be more on the side from the woman. So that's why be the one to really share, to be the one to create a good relationship with the ex-partner as far as possible, to respect what is important for the ex-partner, especially towards the raising of the child, towards, give you just a simple example. If the mom doesn't like her child to eat sweets, don't go and buy like a huge mountains of, Haribo and ice and so on, and try like to be the cool one and to put the mom in a bad situation, or to completely like overrule what the mother is putting as a boundaries for her children.
So let me ask you this, Anna. So that's an excellent point. Let's go through that scenario because it happens all the time. All right. The mom is not there. They're separated from the husband. And the child is with her father and his family. Okay. They have kids of their own. And you just had this conversation and you told the mom that don't give them sweets. She go ahead and she does that. How do you handle that communication between you and the mom that your child is experiencing? You guys are sharing.
So you mean when I'm kind of like the out of the couple?
Yes.
So we're talking about, so it's everything about communication. First point, I'll sit with my ex-partner. So that's why for me it's very crucial and important that even if we're separated, doesn't matter how like this happens, is that we're gonna stay forever parents. As long as our child is on this earth and we are alive, that is something that we cannot change. It's irrevocable. So
start with the partner.
So that means I'll first have a conversation with a partner. I won't go and attack his new girlfriend, but I'll have a conversation with a partner, and I would like to understand. Again, here it's important that we are on the same page, and to understand if he sees differently, why? What is the reason? And there is one point. If he says, I don't see it like you, could be. So the level of consciousness is not like that. I don't see it like that. I'm going to give him sweets as much as I want because maybe he doesn't have a good relationship towards me. Could be the reason. So then it's my responsibility to educate my child as much as possible. And that is also depending on the age, to educate my child as much as possible on why I'm making a certain decision as a mom for him or for her, for my child. And to try to give him as best as I can the consciousness so he can make the decision to say, no, I don't want it. Or maybe I won't, but just a little. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If I cannot influence through my ex-partner, if we don't have a good relationship, and if I don't have a good relationship towards, because very often if you don't have a good relationship with your ex-partner, the possibility that you're going to have a good relationship with the new partner is not really there. You know what I mean? It's not always the case, but in the most of the cases, let me say. So that means it's now my responsibility to really involve my child in every decision I make towards him and try to educate him to the best level I can with the best tools that I can give him so he can make then this decision for himself because I don't have influence.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to understand that point because some people would automatically go and have a conversation with the partner, your ex-partner's partner, current partner. So,
you can try, but especially if you don't have a base that is created on a trust or at least like some kind of a friendship.
Correct.
It will make the things worse.
Makes sense.
So that means I can go and I can fight. I'm going to lose my energy. I'm going to lose my anger. I'm going to point at my anger. But what will happen is most probably if the person especially is not conscious enough, that will start doing it extra. Of course, if I know that the level of consciousness of the person is to the level that I can sit and explain to the person and to say, listen, the reason why I'm asking you is not because I just make it out of kind of fun, but instead I'll try also to educate them why I'm making this decision, or at least to give them some, and also to point something. And I had this situation with my mother-in-law. My child was very small, and I told her I don't want him to have sweets because his teeth are just coming up. Giving sugar, there is so much researches around that. It's like one of the ways to create very early, like caries. I had a friend of mine, she was giving to her daughter every evening orange juice after she brushed her teeth and put her into the bed with this, bottle with the lolly,
Mm-hmm.
At the age of 4, I think was like around 3 or 4, she had 22 caries. At the age of 3 or 4. You can imagine.
Cavities? Unbelievable. Wow.
Almost actually all her teeth. Because at the age you have like 20, 22, you know what I mean? You don't, so completely everything to the level that they were starting like following.
That's a shame.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it was easy to give her something sweet, so she's calm. But sometimes what is easy and she likes you actually is completely harming. And when you can just showcase that, how is this harming? I told to my mother-in-law, I say, hey, listen, he loves yogurt and he loves fruit. So put him a plain yogurt, put him a fruit. Don't buy him. I don't want to say the company name, the brand name. Don't buy him this small, 6 packs or 8 packs, where in this small cup like this, you have 3 sugar, 3 sugars inside. Wow. So much sugar. But because she wanted to be the cool grandma, and I say, but he loves the one that is unhealthy in every shape or form. The other things, it's a fruit sugar. It's a different, and he loves the combination. You're still cool. But because she didn't have the conscious level, she went against kind of, she still till one day her husband told her, why are you doing this to your grandchild when your children was small? You never did this to them. Bam. You know what I mean? When you suddenly put the person would you do this to your children? And some will do it because they don't have the level of consciousness. So like I said back there, it's my responsibility then to take care, to educate my child, to explain it to him, to give him another alternatives, or her,
That's good. So what are the positives?
I can tell you now, looking, for example, give you an example, as I was at the Patchwork family. Okay. So I grew up, in a family. So first I was growing up with my grandparents till I was like 4th grade. But there were people, coming from the village. They never show emotion and so on. So the way how my grandma showed love was cooking. So she'd force me always to eat. What do you want to eat? So that was her way of expressing love. My grandpa, his way of expressing love was kind of to support you in some shape or form, but I never experienced kind of like touch, emotion, somebody to hug you and to say, I love you. You are so amazing. So any compliments, any, words of affirmation or any physical touch. In my family, my mother wasn't also the one able to show emotions, or neither physical nor like emotion, or expressing it with verbal, right? Because she didn't experience. So that means if you don't start developing and looking to your limiting beliefs, then you do almost unconsciously the same as you have been grown, So that means when my father get together with his wife, her small child, she was very physical touchy, like coming and hugging you and so on, and also like showing love and saying like nice words. And my stepmom was also more of like not too much, but still more like showing emotions. And I was at the beginning like that, really like, okay, go away. Don't hug me, don't touch me. I was like teenager. I was like 14. So it was like, oh no, that's gross. Go away. But of course, when you live in this family, in some shape or form, you cannot every time like push the child away or be so distant. So what actually happens, and I'm very, very grateful for this, is I started seeing that there is another way to express love or to receive love, you know? And that was very important because when I become a mom, I was very scared whether I will be able to show my love towards my child or whether I will be this kind of cold distance, not giving him the appreciation or, expressing with words, with emotion, with physical touch. But, surprisingly, I do it a lot, and I enjoy it. And my child is also very, very emotional and very touchy. He needs this physical touch a lot, and I was so grateful that I was able to learn it through this new mom and her children, even if it was challenging, in different situations. But that was, for example, a great gift. Also, what was a great gift for me is to be prepared to see what I don't like, what I like. So when I went into this situation, I was more consciously aware how to navigate this situation because I already experienced it as a child and I knew how I felt, what I was missing, what I would love to experience more or not. So that's why I was more aware, okay, where are the challenges and how I can better navigate them. So that's why it was important to bring my ex-partner and my ex-husband with my partner in a one level, and my sister one day, just a very, very funny situation. So, my son had birthday, and, when he celebrate the birthday with his friends, I of course take my ex-partner and, my ex-husband was there. But, it was still like you're just taking care that about the children, about the parents coming and so on. But what I also did is on the day where he had his birthday. So normally you don't celebrate always on the same day, depending on which week and which day of the week it is. So always was important for me to go and celebrate with my child. And the first 1-2 years was only like my ex-husband, me, and my child. And one moment where I say no. My child now already have spent like over 2 years with my partner, living together as a family, So I said, no, I'd like to celebrate this day together. So I was sitting and having my ex-husband, my partner, my child. And I called my sister. We were in a waffle, restaurant. And I'm talking to her and say, how are you doing? Say, yeah, what is it? Yeah, celebrating birthday. So she said, happy birthday to my son. And I turned the camera, so my phone to my partner. And she already knew him and said, hey, how are you doing? So very really happy and chilled. Suddenly I turned to my ex-husband, and she has an amazing relationship with my ex-husband. She also loves him. My whole family loves my ex-husband also a lot. And they kept also, that was also very important, that I never put my family against my ex-husband, never. The respect is always there. And she was like, okay, then started talking to him. And after that, we had a conversation. She said, can you please tell me, how do you manage to have your ex-partner with your partner and your child sitting together and celebrating so peacefully and harmonically and even buying the present together? Not like, oh, this is the present from the dad. This is the present. No, getting the present together and giving the child this feeling of like, okay, we're all together for him there.
That's good.
And it takes time. It's like I said, for me, it took 2 years till I finally, because I didn't want it, also my ex-husband to feel awkward. So it was step by step, but yet, I knew what is important.
That's a great story.
Goals. Definitely, because I experienced, and now to get the negative part, when I married, how difficult it was for me to bring my father with his wife and my mother. That was almost impossible. I just managed this once. That was the only celebration where I could bring all three together. And it still wasn't very easy. And it was still negative emotion that I was the one taking them on because, from the one side and the other side. And I was like kind of the how do you say, in the middle, like, navigating through this instead of me being the center of like everybody take care and be there for me. So I tried to navigate all this situation. Yeah. So it wasn't easy. And that was the only time, so there was a lot of other celebration where I wanted to have them together. No way. So I now give up. I say, okay, I don't have the influence there, but I know when I get in a relationship, either my ex-partner is willing to, either my new partner is willing to accept that my child has a dad. And also meanwhile, I'm separate from my ex-partner, but he will stay in the life of my child. Either this man can handle this situation or he won't be my partner. That's it. That's maybe the third point, very important. And this is very specifically towards women. Why? Because most of the cases when couples separated, the women take the custody, over the child.
Yes.
Most of the cases. Mm-hmm. It's not often that it's 50-50 like me and my ex-husband, I met a lot of women who are like a single mom and they're scared because they're single mom that they cannot find a partner. So they're willing to take every person, willing to some shape or form to get in relationship with her, even if she has a child, and now we come again to the topic of standards, 2 episodes before, have a look at that. For me, I never saw it as any kind of problem. Never ever. Actually, I see it as a value. So that's why my standard and boundaries is, if a man come in my life, he needs to accept my child. I won't say as his own child, but to have the capacity to be a partner with me that we can take care and we can grow this child and be a good influence. And because my child will see him in some shape or form as a dad role. Not completely, but yet. And he will influence also my child. So for me, it's very important that this person has a real relationship and also accept him and doesn't create unnecessary unease in the relationship between me and my child. So I see it as a plus to have an amazing child, and I'm not willing to accept any man in my life in any shape or form. Doesn't matter what he brings on the table. Doesn't matter if he cannot handle this situation. That's and good. Ladies, you should put these standards for you. Oh my God, look how dark it's get. When we're recording the episode, it's really like getting dark here. So really please, ladies, and as a man, if you like a woman and she has a child, I can tell you, this child can teach you so much. This child can give you so much value in your life. You cannot imagine. Believe me, this creates a completely different level. My ex-partner, he was very young when we get together. He never ever had like really long relationship. And now suddenly he was in a relationship with a woman with a child. And it was challenging for him. I'm honest with you. But yet, through these challenges, he grew so strong. He started taking bigger responsibility and really grow even stronger as a man. I can tell you it's a really, really, value. It's a huge value. Don't see it as a negative.
Yeah. No kids are. No kids are. Never. So I agree.
Yeah. This is kind of, so I hope, from my experience that I share with you is just to take the following. As a woman, you are the one to create this nurturing family, no matter how chaotic and challenging the patchwork family is, and also take care that your partner, engage to the same level with his children as with yours. So don't try to separate. Or if you have own children, or if you want to have an own children, also to not have any separateness between the children. Second, be aware that depending on the level of consciousness of the ex-partner, they can start creating challenges in your relationship. So really be clear on how you handle and navigate this situation. Be a strong team, really a strong team. And even if it's sometimes maybe the child from your partner is not nice towards you, don't take it personally. For the children, it's even more difficult to navigate this situation, because they try to stay kind of, like committed towards their parents, and suddenly you are the one from outside, so then take it personally. It's not personally. Give the best you can give to the child. Stay with love, with really compassion, because you're the adult. He or she is the child, or they are the children, So don't take it personally. But like I said, it's important, the partnership. So, and the third one is really, especially here for the ladies, don't, don't underestimate your value because you're a single mom. If this happens, don't get into a relationship with people, with men who are not willing to be a father figure for your child to the level that you would like him to be. Don't do this. Your child deserves a nurturing lioness mom that understand how strong the value is, how strong your bond is, and that you are the one to protect your children also, Don't sell yourself under your value. Yeah.
Good words of advice. Because they're applicable to everything.
It starts raining.
Oh, really?
And it smells so good. Oh, I'm sending you this rain here in this amazing winery region where I'm in Bulgaria. So really, really beautiful. Oh, if I can send you the aroma towards the recording. It's amazing. Yeah. So, don't be scared of patchwork families. It's challenges, but what you gain out of it and what your children can gain out of patchwork families. Oh my God. I'm so happy to see my child growing with two different dads because they're so different, and he learns so much different perspectives. He gains so much different perspectives. So he grows and see the world from a wider perspective. It's really amazing. It's a plus point for your children or your child, for you, everybody. And don't be scared to love the children from your partner to the same level as your own. In your heart, you have the capacity for even more.
That's a great way to end it. In the heart, you have capacity for even more than you possibly can imagine. So open your heart and receive.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Click on one of the videos below and don't forget to like and subscribe.